Thank you very much, Chairman Nadler. Professor Yu, we appreciate your appearance here today. During a public debate, it was reported you were asked if the president could order that a suspect's child be tortured in gruesome fashion, and you responded that, I think it depends on why the president thinks he needs to do that. Is that accurate?
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe it's accurate because it took what I said out of context. The quote stopped right before I continued to explain a number of things, which I appreciate the opportunity to do.
But so far what I read was accurate, but there was more.
It stopped like mid-sentence. So I didn't get to finish. I mean, I finished the sentence during the debate, but I didn't get a chance to.
Thank you. Is there anything, Professor Yu, that the president could not order to be done to a suspect if he believed it necessary for national defense?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think that goes back to the quote you just read, because.
No, I'm just asking you the question. Maybe it does or doesn't, but what do you think?
I think it's the same question that I was asked.
Well, what's the answer?
First, can I make clear I'm not talking about.
And you don't have to make anything clear. Just answer the question, counsel.
I just want to make sure I'm not saying anything.
You don't have to worry about not saying. Just answer the question.
Okay. My thinking right now.
Yes, right now.
Okay. My thinking right now.
This moment.
Yes. This moment, Mr. Chairman, is that, first, the question you're posing.
What is the answer?
Mr. Chairman, I'm not trying to make you.
I get it. Okay.
Let me answer. I will answer the question.
No, you're wasting my time. Look, counsel, we've all practiced law. Hold it. Could the president order a suspect buried alive?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think that I have ever.
I'm asking you that.
Given the advice that the president could bury somebody alive.
I didn't ask you if you ever gave him advice. I asked you, do you think the president could order a suspect buried alive?
Mr. Chairman, my view right now is that I don't think a president would. No American president would ever have to order that or feel it necessary to order that.
I think we understand the games that are being played. Okay, now let me turn to Attorney Addington about the ABC News reported that there was a so-called principals meeting in which Vice President Cheney sat around with other cabinet-level officials to approve specific interrogation techniques. True?
I don't know of any such meeting, Mr. Chairman. It doesn't mean one did or didn't occur. I certainly wasn't at one.
None?
I was not at a meeting.
Okay.
The description you've given.
Right. Do you feel that the unitary theory of the executive allows the president to do things over and above the stated law of the land?
The Constitution binds all of us, Congressman, the President, all of you as members of Congress, all of the federal judges. We all take an oath to support and defend it. I frankly don't know what you mean by unitary theory of government. I don't have.
Have you ever heard of that theory before?
I have. I've seen it in the newspapers all the time.
Do you support it?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is?
And it's always described as something Addington's the great, advocator of. Now, let me tell you where I've used the word unitary. In quoting OLC opinions, in drafting signing statements. And you will find OLC opinions that refer to the unitary executive branch. And by that, they simply mean.
I don't need you to interpret to me what other people have used.
No.
You're telling
I'm answering
me
your question.
You're telling me you don't know what the unitary theory means.
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know what I mean by it.
Or anyone else.
Do you know what you mean by it?
I know exactly what I mean by it. And
well, what do you mean?
Sentences.
Tell me.
The use of the word unitary by me has been in the context of unitary executive branch. And all that refers to is, I think it's the first sentence of Article 2 of the Constitution, which says all of the executive power is vested in a President of the United States. One president, all of the executive power, not some of it, not part of it, not the parts Congress doesn't want to exercise itself. That's all it refers to.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
The gentleman from Iowa is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and perhaps I'd quote the chairman of the full committee and we could take the temperature down in here just a little bit. And I've always found the chairman to be a gentleman, and I point that out to the witnesses today.
I do too, sir. Mr. Chairman Conyers has a long and distinguished history.
And that is something, that's a unanimous opinion on this Judiciary Committee, I believe. And I wanted to take you back, Mr. Addington, and just simply give you a little latitude to express yourself here. The book Torture Team by Felipe Sands, which has been quoted here a number of times and seems to be the source of the criticism, refuted by at least two of the witnesses here at the panel today. And I'd ask, what do you have to say about the credibility of the information that's in that book, and without necessarily impugning the author, if that could be done?
Yes, I've read the book. I can't, of course, as a witness who's under oath, address every word on every page in the book. There are things in there, as I recall from reading it, that were accurate, and there were things in there that weren't.
And Professor Yu, the same question?
I haven't read the book. I read Mr. Sands' testimony before this committee, and I noticed in the testimony he said that he had interviewed me for the book. And I can say that he did not interview me for the book. He asked me for an interview and I declined. So I didn't quite understand why he would tell the committee that he had actually interviewed me.
And with that answer, Professor Yu, then I'm going to interpret that to mean that at least with regard to that statement that he had interviewed you, you find that to be a false statement, and that would perhaps reflect on the veracity of the balance of the book.
I can't tell what else is in the book, but I don't understand why he would say that he interviewed me for the book. I can tell the committee that he contacted me once. He wanted to interview me for the book, and I said, I don't want to talk to you. I wrote my own book. You can look at my own book. Everything I have to